way. Yeah, but we are winning this game. Come on.
2-2 was my prediction.
Ooh, like a 3-0, a 4.
3 goals today, maybe 2.
Welcome along to the Sporty Show, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Wednesday and happy Champions League evening. Another round of matches take place this evening. And gentlemen, we had an exciting Tuesday night. I know it looked like we got all those predictions wrong, but I think we actually did pretty well. Arsenal won, Barca won, Man City won, Dortmund won. I think everyone we thought relatively was going to win. Maybe a couple ties here and there, but not bad at all. We're going to break down those matches as well as look ahead to the matches this evening in just an hour's time. 2 matches already underway, and Adamella Lookman already on the board for Atalanta as they are up 3-0. Klinton Cod.
Well, just speaking about our predictions from yesterday.
Do you want to introduce Alex, or do you want to just, should we?
Right, sorry. I mean, I didn't know Alex was here. Jesus, right.
The tallest man in Madrid.
Missed me, man.
No, I didn't. I forgot. I swear down. I was just. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, she didn't even introduce me though. Like, she just went on talking about.
I referenced Adamella Lookman. I thought you wanted to talk about it.
Wait, but
She
when?
opened the floor
No,
to you.
but wait.
Alex.
When have I turned to Ademola Lookman? Is that some kind of introduction to me? Like, let's analyze the situation.
Wait, didn't you tell him he was he was going to win the African Player of the Year?
Yeah, but that's not you introducing me though. You
No,
just.
but she said, you're talking about Adamella Lookman, Klinton Cod.
Because I thought you'd want to talk. You know what, Klinton? Alex Ashmore. Adamella Lookman. Do you want to talk about him?
Yeah, go on then. Oh, Klinton, you're here. I didn't see you.
Whatever, man. Whatever.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Nah,
Yeah.
but well, yeah, I'll introduce myself. As you know, my name is Cod Klinton, aka Klinton Cod. And yeah, it's a
Gonna be
very
long
beautiful
today.
day the Lord has made, and we shall be speaking about my man, Lookman. Yes.
So it is your man.
Right. No, actually, no. Boniface is my man. Lookman is my boy. You know what I'm saying? He's pretty much on the right path to becoming the African Player of the Year. Obviously, I feel like Victor Boniface does deserve it. To be honest, he makes everyone happy. His celebrations, his funniness online, everything. I think if I was on the board of who dishes out that award, I'm definitely giving it to Boniface, because it's not just an entertainer on the pitch, but also an entertainer on, real life, social media, everything. But look, man, thank you. You're making Nigerians proud. I'm just happy that both people we talk about, this is not one Ghanaian and maybe some Cameroonian. These are 2 Nigerians. So I'm proud that it's still coming home, baby. Irrespective of anything
happening right now.
I'm happy with that one. But yeah, let's introduce the tallest man in Madrid as usual. It's Ashmore Ebuna.
Oh dear. Hello, everyone.
All right, well, there was a bit of a jab there, not Ghanaians, and I think he knew that Gary would be on the show today. Gary, don't take that.
No, absolutely not. I'm not biting. I'm not biting.
You're not biting because
not biting
Arsenal danced yesterday and beat PSG 2-0, and I know that's what's making you happy.
Too easy. Too easy. It was
Way too easy. All right, well, let's start with that one really quickly, guys. Atalanta are playing Shakhtar Donetsk as we speak, and they are up 3-0, while Girona are down 2-1 to Feyenoord. We will keep you updated on those 2 matches. And after today's show, we have EFL Championship with Sheffield Wednesday taking on Bristol City. Alex Ashmore will have a little bit more on that at the end of the show. All right, let's talk about yesterday's Champions League matches, because it was goals galore once again. The Tuesday seems to be the day where we get all the goals. So far, 2 weeks ago and today. And Gary, let's start with your Arsenal 2-0 to PSG. Guys, Bukayo Saka, I told you someone should have had a shout for him. I feel it. Bukayo Saka, Kai Havertz, both getting on the board. Gary, how do you feel?
Nobody said Saka, but I think Klinton was feeling very strongly about Kai Havertz yesterday. So
no, yeah, that I was going to say it, but I'm glad you do remember.
He was. He really. The goal was well taken, but it's a sort of goal that the keeper could have chopped his head off. Those 50-50 challenges, because we could easily be here talking about like an injury to the head that he could have had. He committed so much into it, and luckily for him, it was a well taken goal. Arsenal well. PSG, I did not expect them to be this. I didn't expect the win to come this easily. And Luis Enrique said it afterwards that he takes responsibility, and he mentioned two key areas: that the intensity with which Arsenal played, and he used the word duel, I believe. I'm like, Luis Enrique, did he actually use the word duel? Because he doesn't speak English. He said this is in Spanish. Or it was the English translator who decided to use duel. Because, Sara and Klinton, duel is like Mikel Arteta's word. He likes to use the word duel. So everybody's like, what? Did he actually use the word duel? Yeah. But it illustrated just how not difficult, maybe easy is too disrespectful, the game was for Arsenal.
Say it with
And
your
I
chest,
think
Gary.
well, football is about mutual respect because remember, I had tipped PSG to be my personal surprise of this. Remember when we did the surprise of the Champions League, I had said PSG. Exactly. Now it's looking like I'm going to be really embarrassed with that one because, geez, you don't see them even getting to, I don't know, definitely not quarterfinal with the way they played, So, yeah.
Like, I think I mentioned this yesterday. PSG Champions League, you can't trust them as far as you can throw. And Gary, you should have known better. But this is obviously great for Arsenal, great for Mikel Arteta's side. And they're also still without, their leader in the middle, Odegaard. So I think that's great that they're performing at this level. And everyone's kind of scoring. Again, scoring by committee, this team. Everyone gets on the board, Saka, Havertz, Trossard, Gabriel, Martinelli. It's great to see.
Yeah. I think, to be honest, this is the perfect performance from Arsenal. Yes, they didn't dominate the ball. PSG, I think, 65% of the possession. Had almost 600 passes. Ineffective, wasteful, poor, really, from PSG. And I think when you look at Desiree Doué, who was the replacement for Ousmane Dembélé, he was pretty shocking, to be honest. And I think if Ousmane Dembélé was playing, he could have caused some problems to that Arsenal defence. But all in all, I think very lacklustre from PSG, but brilliant from Arsenal. They did what they needed to do. They got the goals. Yes, you could say the second half was a bit boring, but it's not all about entertaining at the end of the day. It's getting the result. And you're 2-0 up. You want to stick to that 2-0 and go into match week 3 with 4 points for Arsenal is good. And to beat a team like PSG is good. Yes, they're perhaps not the force that they used to be, but they're still a very strong team. So, yeah, perfect performance from Arsenal for me.
Anything to add, Klinton? Dembélé has apologized, by the way, to Luis Enrique, and he has now been allowed back into the squad. That was news today after that.
Shame he didn't do that yesterday at about midday.
No, Dembélé could never.
Exactly.
All right, let's move along, Klinton, and let's talk about Victor Boniface, because it was me who, in fact, said I didn't see him scoring, and he decided to prove me wrong. 1-0 to Leverkusen. Thank God I switched my prediction, though, for Leverkusen to win. Klinton, Victor Boniface back on the board after a, quiet performance against Bayern Munich over the weekend. How are you feeling?
Yeah, this time around, you could clearly see that my man felt I needed to prove a point. And if you notice, it was 2 goals, and which I'm celebrating 2 goals. People are celebrating one. One of them was cancelled, but I understand that Frimpong was offside. Was it Frimpong that was offside? I can't remember now.
I think he was the one that involved in that play.
Yeah. And for me, that's Frimpong's problem. I've accepted my goal. It was a goal. It was a beautiful one. He ran into the ball. It was a perfect run. He scored the goal, right? So for me, Victor scored 2 goals when we were quite unsure as to what was going to happen. And I saw the game, AC Milan. We looked at their lineup. We felt like the lineup was too crazy and very... it was just too much for Bayer Leverkusen. We've seen Bayer Leverkusen play. They've played Bayern Munich, and the game was kind of boring, if you ask me. The proper intense and crazy game we expected from big teams like Bayern Munich and Bayer Leverkusen in Germany, it didn't live up to the expectation. And because of that kind of play, I felt like AC Milan was coming with some thunder and brimstones and fire. And when I saw the way Bayer Leverkusen handled the game, I was quite surprised. And for me, I was just happy that Boniface did get a goal, like we wanted, like I wanted, and yeah. They got the win, and they just need to think about the next game now. And hopefully, Victor Boniface will continue scoring for me.
I think at the end of the day, it's about how clinical Leverkusen were, because they had the same amount of shots, but I think they had maybe 4 more shots on target. Obviously got the goal. you look at AC Milan's attack with the ability that they have, Rafael Leao, Tammy Abraham, Christian Pulisic, they should be creating a lot more. And, I think Tammy Abraham failed to get a shot, let alone a shot on target. I think Rafael Leao had one blocked shot from memory. So, I think a very clinical performance from Bayer Leverkusen, and one that you look at and think that is a Xabi Alonso masterclass. He knew what he wanted to do. He knew how he was going to stop AC Milan's attack. He'd obviously studied them very well, and he knows the dangers that they offer. So, brilliant performance, not just from Boniface, from Florian Wirtz, from Xhaka in the midfield. I think when you look at the performance as a whole, it was a complete performance from the team and job done. So moving into week 3 with 6 points.
Yeah. Not bad at all. Not bad.
All right.
Talk to me, Gary.
All right. So I was just going to piggyback off what Alex said, that, despite that performance, I think that Milan fans and those who watch Milan will be happy with what they saw despite the defeat. There's something that's getting better about this Milan team that wasn't there, at the start of the season. And let's start from the beginning. There was a bit of speculation that Pavlovic and Calabria were coming into the lineup. The only change that Fonseca made was to bring Loftus-Cheek in for Morata, who is nursing an injury. So lively starts, good stuff, both teams giving it hammer and tongs. Boniface, interestingly, was inside the box a lot and so on. And at the end of the game, the Nigerian journalist Omar Katugba asked what's his name? The manager, Xabi Alonso, about Boniface and what his ceiling will be. And he said Boniface can be a Drogba if he's a bit more aggressive in the box. And you saw a bit of that in the first half. And if you watch the replay again, you sort of understand. Drogba was like, rah, rah, rah. Oh, like Boniface has this moments of chill where he's just like maybe 5 minutes, he's just soaking. Drogba was all out, 24/7, 90 minutes, no break, no stop. And I think that's what Xabi Alonso was trying to say. But, from a Milanista point of view, a Rossoneri point of view, I think that they should be encouraged with what they saw. You notice that the kind of intensity that Bayer Leverkusen played with is reminiscent of what they had last season. Milan, at many points last season, did not have that. And in seeing this, they should be quite happy. And Fonseca, who people have not been too sure of, and those who don't like the way he's managing, should be encouraged with this as well. So that's all I wanted to add. Yeah.
Hey, God, Gary. You see, Gary is that uncle, yeah, in Africa, the African family settings, yeah. Where just listen to this, because this is something that happens in Africa a lot, right? You know that uncle where your dad wants you to come first in class, but you come fourth. And that uncle is trying to convince your dad that, listen, everybody in that school,
it's not that bad.
They find it quite difficult. I think fourth is not too bad, We need to encourage him. Whereas there's another uncle who will literally see you come second, and that second is like, there's only one mark that made you get second. You should have been first. And they are beating the hell out of you because they feel like you've done really bad. Listen,
Come on,
AC Milan lost the game. You guys say it was shameful. You lost the game to Liverpool. Why is he there trying to make us feel like AC Milan? Listen, you lost the game woefully. Get out, fam.
What uncle do you think Klinton is? Run.
I think the second one.
The thing is with AC Milan, though, is that they also lost their first match to Liverpool. We have to remember, and Alex brought this up yesterday, unless you are in the top 8, if you are in that middle section of the new Champions League table, that means you have to play 2 extra games, and that is a lot of football these days. Two extra matches on top of all the matches they have to play. I think that's the concern right now with AC Milan. Not that they necessarily had, the worst game, whatever, they lost, and because of the first loss now too, they put themselves in a very bad situation.
Do you know what the crazy thing is? Just coming back to what Gary said. Do you know that anybody who did not watch the game and listen to Gary speak, do you know they would think AC Milan won that game? No, let's listen to that. No.
I literally said despite the defeat. Literally.
I just want to remind people that AC Milan lost. Please don't listen to what Gary said. They lost.
Markinde here said, Osimhen said that he's worth over 100 million, referencing Boniface. This is the first time I'm seeing a player giving himself a price tag. Seem he heard what Klinton said about him.
Oh, yes, he's better than Kylian Mbappe, and he gave himself, he believes it. Listen, if he said he's worth over 100 million,
Wait, who's better than Mbappe now? Boniface?
No, wait.
Osimhen
that's
said
what I'm saying.
Boniface is worth...
No, Osimhen said he's worth. No, this was a comment Osimhen said on social media.
Oh, this came up when we were talking about Boniface.
No,
Why are we talking about Markandé. Like, what do we... This, I can't. Get with the program. Markandé, also, you said that the PSG, the goals were Donnarumma blunders. I remember you said 3-0 PSG yesterday. How's that going? How is that going, Gary? Tell him. Sorry, I totally misread that. I thought he was talking about Boniface because that's, of course, what we were talking about in the show.
I mean, we know that Boniface can be very confident about himself.
Yes, we saw it.
He sounds like somebody who could say that, but, he didn't say it. That was Osimhen on social media, and I don't know, I didn't know if there was any proper source, but he said that he was worth over 100 million. Now, is he worth over 100 million? Of course he is worth more than 150 million. If Jack Grealish is 150 million, why is Osimhen not worth more than that? What are you guys talking to me about? He's definitely worth more than 150 million.
Guys.
No, nobody should piss me off, man.
We're talking about the Champions League. Osimhen, you're not in it. We'll talk about you tomorrow. All right, next match, Barcelona. Finally, guys, we're back. I feel good. I can breathe. It looked good. They had the performance they need. It was a revenge game, and everyone more or less played really well. Ansu Fati made a cameo. Didn't like that, to be fair. No, I don't think he played well. And Frankie de Jong looked not 100%, which I think is valid because he just returned from injury. But dominating performance. And Alex, you actually didn't think they could do this to young boys. And they, in fact, did do this.
Yeah, no, I thought it was going to be tougher. And I think when you look at Barca going into this fixture, the injuries seem to be taking their toll slightly. And it's understandably, there's a lot of football. There's a lot of pressure on these players, but they dealt with that pressure and they dealt with the problems that they've had. Obviously, good to see Frankie de Jong back after a long layoff. And yeah, I think Hansi Flick, obviously, it will be a sort of not a reset button, but that's the sort of performance he's been looking for, perhaps. And it also shows that they can push through these tougher times. It is also a win against young boys. Without wanting to criticise young boys too much, they're not best of teams. We saw them get beat quite comfortably by Aston Villa in match week 1. It is a good win and it's good to get back into winning ways, but I don't think Barcelona fans or Hansi Flick will be getting ahead of themselves. I think he'll know that, yes, it's a good win, but there's still a lot of work to be done.
Absolutely. All right, Man City also won comfortably yesterday, 4-0. Erling Haaland just one goal. We were speculating maybe another hat trick. And Dortmund absolutely slaughtered Celtic, and I use that word.
Saturday, slaughtered them. Let's start with that one first of all, but continue.
Okay, go for it. You can go for it. I mean, 7-1. I mean, what Bayern...
I've said this before.
9-2.
9-2, and now we're seeing 7-1.
This is what I say. You guys remember when I was saying that if a team...
Like, you got to go home.
No, simple. Like,
this is it. Pack it out. Pack up the bags, boys.
They would just cancel, remove your name from Champions League football. That's it. Like, this is... To me, when I'm seeing these kind of scores, and these are Champions League teams, they are making mockery of the competition, Like, how would you be a Champions League team and you come into the game? This is meant to be the highest level of football in Europe. Why would you come into the game and you're conceding 7 and we are hearing 9? I'm telling you that even in FIFA 25, that we've not started playing yet, you don't see these kind of things. Or like, fam, Alex cannot play, but Alex, you will never concede 9 goals on PS5, would you? Ask Ben. Ben knows.
Not against you, no.
He started out, Alex, you cannot play. But, yeah, this was a tragedy. This was a tragedy for the entire country of Ireland, genuinely. This was not good, but great for Dortmund and Sam Adeyemi.
Yeah.
Scotland, sorry, pardon me.
When you look at it...
Don't make that mistake. Don't make that mistake.
No. I have so many Irish friends, I would never. It's because in one of the videos we showed, they were holding up a...
I mean, there is a large part of Celtic fans. that
Yeah,
are
yeah,
from
and there was an
Ireland.
Irish flag, and that's what I
Ireland.
took from
There's
it.
the whole-
Come on, Gary, I would never. It's not like confusing a Nigerian and Ghanaian. I would never.
I think,
Hell,
I mean, there's a few stats.
That's a great example.
I
That's
know,
a great
no,
example.
I know. Sorry, Alex.
No, there's a few stats like we've seen just there coming up. It's their joint highest win in the Champions League. Adeyemi, I think he's the first German player to score a hat-trick in the first half since Mario Gomez, I believe. It's the biggest defeat, well, first time a British side has conceded 5 in the first half since 1997. Dortmund under Nuri Sahin, yes, they lost to Stuttgart quite badly, but it's looking like an exciting team, and I think they can pose a threat to quite a few teams in Europe this season.
Yeah, very, very exciting. All right, guys, let's
Sarah,
talk. Gary.
Sorry. Yeah. I really wanted to talk about this Celtic because it's just like the PSG thing. PSG are so far ahead of everybody in France that when they come to Europe, and that's the problem. Celtic are so far ahead of everybody in Scotland, like so far ahead of everybody in Scotland that it's a joke. They are sort of like the Bayern Munich in Germany, but except that PSG in France are so dominant, yes, and it's one-sided. Bayern so dominant, it's one-sided. But these two teams at least do well in Europe. The problem with Celtic is that perennially they are rubbish in Europe, and that's the problem. They have no inkling to restructure the system because if they change the system in Scotland, it will be to their advantage. If people are, if the league, the Scottish league is competitive, it's to their advantage because then in Europe. So let me give you just one example so we can move on. Celtic in about 3 or 4 seasons have not bothered with the kind of midfielder who sort of like the N'Golo Kante midfielder because they never need it in Scotland. They never, because they overrun midfield so easily, they don't need to go the extra mile to buy that kind of midfielder. So when they come to Europe, their midfield is absolutely wide open. And it's the problem that Celtic will continue facing for a long, long time. Brendan Rodgers knows this. In the first game that they were widely expected to win, so that was nothing against Bratislava. But against any remotely decent opposition, they're always going to be found out. And that's why some people are criticizing this new format of the Champions League. You said something at the top of the show about when you were introducing the Champions League fixtures, and you said it seems that every Tuesday we get the big scorelines. We are going to get that throughout the league phase until at least we get to. Yeah. But you see, what happens is that it makes the competition very pedestrian, and we can almost. Exactly. The excitement does not come till around January 3rd. So what's the point? So it's going to make money for the clubs because obviously Celtic are very happy that they've had this kind of, opposition. Dortmund coming is going to be a money spinner for them. But apart from that, what does it do to the quality of the teams? Maybe that's some food for thought.
I like it. Let's see, Gary. Early doors. We're still in, week 2. Let's talk about tonight's matches, and let's start off with, I think, what should be the biggest, maybe most exciting one, Aston Villa and Bayern Munich.
A replay of the 1982 European Cup final.
Yeah.
Where Villa won 1-0.
Klinton was 16, It was right there. It was right there.
No.
Do you remember the game?
Klinton
that was such a long
just
time
turned
Wait.
17, actually.
I think Gary just corrected you, Alex.
What did you say, Gary?
Just turned 17. No,
Oh, he just-
Klinton had just turned 17.
Savage. Okay, guys, here. Lineups. Manuel Neuer, Alphonso Davies, Kim, Upamecano, Kimmich, Pavlovic, Gnabry, Limer, Koeman, Kane, Olise, and for Aston Villa, Dibu Martinez, Konza, Carlos, Torres, Digne, Onana, Rogers, Tielemans, Fillion, Watkins, and Ramsey. This one is so interesting, not because of the players, but because of the coaches, in my opinion. Because I think Bayern Munich have started off the season swimmingly, and I don't think we thought that they would with Vincent Kompany at the helm. Harry Kane can't stop scoring. Michael Olise settled in beautifully. This is a very strong team. But Unai Emery is one that I would never look past when it comes to European competitions. Yesterday, Gary was talking about Luis Enrique mind games. This is the wizard of that. This is the sorcerer.
I think it's a battle of two well, one very good coach and one potentially very good coach. I think I've been very impressed with how Vincent Kompany started his tenure at Bayern. I think I was, one of the people that were quite critical of the appointment, and I think that, perhaps his track record at Anderlecht and Burnley, we looked at that and thought, yes, he plays a nice brand of football, but doesn't get the results. But now we're looking at him playing the nice brand of football with the good quality players that perhaps he lacked at those clubs, and now he's producing the results. Yes, I suppose when you look at the tests, obviously they haven't played, quarterfinal, semi-final, the latter stage of the Champions League, so we won't know how he performs in those stages yet. But this is a tough test. Villa are a good side. We've seen how well they've done over the last couple of, season and a bit in the Premier League. And Unai Emery, he's an experienced coach when it comes to European football. Obviously, done very well with Sevilla in the Europa League. So, yeah, this will be a good battle, and also at Villa Park. And it's going to
be loud.
Yeah, it's a loud atmosphere at Villa Park. If anyone's been there, they'll know that, the fans, they will get behind the team, and it's like a 12th man there. So Bayern will know about that atmosphere, but I'm expecting a very good game and potentially lots of goals.
Klinton, Michael Olise?
I mean, Michael Olise is pretty much, just to correct something about the fact that Vincent Kompany is, Alex, listen, if you are giving Bayern Munich right now for you to coach with what they have, I don't think you would do anything different from what Vincent Kompany is doing now. I understand that, yeah, as a coach, you need to be mentally or skillfully or, tactically very sound for you to be able to control players. But listen to me, right? The same Vincent Kompany got a job from being relegated, right? So are you telling me that somehow, because he's now with a team who have everything that he need? Listen, Vincent Kompany, don't doubt me. He's a good coach. Maybe he just didn't have the kind of team that could succeed in the Premier League. And now he's gone to the German League, where he has literally best set of players in Germany. Why should he not perform? For me, anybody who's going to have such a team, it just means that you don't know what your job is as a coach.
It's true, but then also if you look at the game against Bayer Leverkusen, Xabi Alonso, perhaps one of the best coaches in the world at the moment with how he's performed in the last year, they dominated Xabi Alonso's team. They dominated Bayer Leverkusen. Yes, they didn't get the win, but when you look at how they've started in the Champions League, how they've done in the Bundesliga, I've seen coaches of a similar ilk to Vincent Kompany go into big teams. For example, it's happened at Real Madrid with the likes of Julian Lopetegui, Rafa Benitez. There have been coaches that you would think they've got all of the needs there and the resources to succeed, but they haven't. You see it at Chelsea. You see it at Manchester United. There are coaches that go into jobs and you think, how can he fail? And they do, but he's still doing well. He's still putting in good performances and impressing as well with the way Bayern are playing football. So, yes, I agree with what you said. He's perhaps got a lot to prove, but I do think he's showing signs of potentially being a good coach.
Do you think this comes down then to a manager versus manager match then?
I think at the end of the day, the players have to come. When you look at Harry Kane leading the line for Bayern Munich, he is obviously England's #1 striker. Ollie Watkins is the #2. So it is, I think the players come into it, Pavlovic, Kimmich, Olise,
you have two of the best keepers in the world right now as well.
Exactly. So I think it is about the managers and how they set up tactically, but I think at the end of the day, it's whether the players on the pitch can produce on the night, and I think it'll be a brilliant game.
I'll tell you this, right? If you bring a Bayern Munich currently, the way they are, without a coach, one thing I can tell you for sure is they would still play Champions League football without a coach. Facts, they might not win the league, right? They might not be the first, but I can tell you, without a coach, that team together, them just speaking to themselves, I can tell you for free that they will still play Champions League football, right? For a coach to come have that kind of team, and for them to win the league, you just need to be that coach who's next level. So when I say next level, this is you delivering #1 spot at that club, okay? So I don't really see anything magical. I cannot tell you, oh, Vincent Kompany is literally doing an excellent job. No, if he wasn't playing with the team that he has, the way they are right now, then I would have said, okay, he needs, according to what Makinde would say, he needs to go and become a music teacher, fact. But he's doing a good job. I'm happy with the results he's having. As a matter of fact, I'm one of those people who cheered for him. I really wanted him to succeed in Bayern because remember, the moment he got the job, the first thing the reaction of people was not be that. How do you go from your team being relegated to championship in England to you getting the #1 team and the Bundesliga in that was wait, what? What was the whole? if we were in Nigeria, they would have said this was corruption. This was like, I know you, you know somebody that knows somebody. Gary, you know what I mean, right? This is what happens in Africa.
You have a plug, innit?
Well, you have a plug. Thank you. Show and they will say,
Everybody
please
needs
give
plugs
me your
in
plug.
life.
Show us.
Everybody needs plugs in life. I mean,
Well,
come on.
exactly. Do you understand? So for him to then get to that stage, right? I mean, I've seen Vincent Kompany's aura in the locker room with Burnley players. Like, you could clearly see that this guy means business, right? And that's the bare minimum you require from a coach. Now, if you have that, I'm not trying to say he's going to give that same behavior to the players in Bayern, because first of all, there are players there who probably have been playing longer than even Vincent Kompany. For example, now, I don't know how long Muller has been playing, but I'm sure he's older when it comes to the game of football than Vincent Kompany. Gary, please, am I wrong with that one? I'm not too sure. Yeah. But he's not going to go into this Bayern Munich team now to start being that Vincent Kompany in Burnley. But the truth is, somebody who has played high-level football, especially with Manchester City, he should be able to deliver the best football with Bayern Munich. If he's doing anything less than that, then it just means that he should be a music teacher.
Just a quick update here. It's now 3-2, Feyenoord 2, Girona. Girona 2 own goals in this one. Donny van de Beek tied it, but another own goal from Girona. Not looking too good for them. And 3-0 still for Atalanta. Gary, Aston Villa, Bayern Munich, give me a score prediction.
Good game. Well, Bayern to win. You know, for the comments, just because of the comments that Klinton made, I think that it's, if you look at Vincent Kompany's, because yesterday, the day before, when was the press conference again? Yesterday, match day -1. Kompany was asked, guys, again, you know, that same annoying question about the and you could tell he was prepared. Unlike the last time where he caught him off guard and he gave that monologue about what or whatnot, this time he was prepared. He sidestepped the question so beautifully, talked about the experience of his players. He said, we have Premier League winners, we have Champions League winners, we have World Cup winners in here. They know what it takes. You know, I'm here to guide them, so on. And he sidestepped the question beautifully. But how long is this going to go on? I'm sure in his head he's asking, you know, and that's why he's going to push his players so that if even they are winning 4-0, Klinton, Alex, Sara, he's going to push his players to win 9-0 every week. You know, just to make a statement that this is me and you should expect world class from me. Yeah. So that's my expectation. I expect them to win, and not quite handsomely, no. Why? Because it's Unai Emery. This guy, just because of the coach, you know, there are certain games that you want to give a certain prediction and you know that the prowess of the coach is what is stopping you. Guys, he's beaten Bayern Munich twice before with similar or lesser opposition. So, I can't say that it's going to be easy for Bayern, but I expect them to win just because they have superior quality on the field.
Well, it seems our viewers agree with you, because according to our Twitter poll, 87% of you think that this is going to be a Bayern Munich win. Make sure you check out the other polls, and I'll read them as we go through the matches. Pick your winner, or if it's a draw. Alex Ashmore, a little bit too confident in Bayern Munich, the viewers, or are you backing it too?
I'm going to go 3-2 to Bayern.
Ooh, another
Bayern.
really exciting prediction.
Harry Kane
I have
getting a
to
winner
tune
in the
into that game.
93rd minute.
No, yesterday you had 2-2 in Leverkusen and Milan. Now you're going 3-2. I'm hoping again you're right, because that just sounds like brilliant football. Okay, Klinton?
I mean, this one, I'm looking at the kind of game Aston Villa plays, and I know that usually they can be very clumsy. It gets to a point they really give up in the game, especially when they are facing top teams. I've seen that weakness when it comes to Aston Villa. You would literally see them running around on the pitch, and maybe they might even get confused even in their defense at some point. In the process of trying to score goals, they might probably use the counters to get them. Obviously, Bayern Munich, they have really fast players, the likes of... what's the name of this young man?
Alphonso Davies.
Musiala. I'm talking about Musiala. I'm not very impressed with Alphonso Davies these days. I feel like he's.
You were just talking about fast. I think he's one of the fastest players.
Yeah,
in the
he's
world.
one of the fastest. But you know, when I love fastness that yield results. You know, it's not about shooting into the where the audience are watching from. Like, no, that's what I realized in this last game. But this game, I see Bayern Munich taking the lead. I'm seeing a 3-1 lead on this one, or maybe a 3-2. But I think my heart is going towards a 3-1.
3-1. Michael, Elisa, you gonna score?
Michael Olise, this one, I think he should be having a goal at least. I see Harry Kane dropping a goal as well, or two even if possible. I mean, the game is quite a very difficult one. Now, Ole Watkins, I don't see him scoring against this Bayern Munich today. If there's anybody who's going to score for Aston Villa, it's probably going to be an own goal.
Oh, my. Savage. Savage. All right. Well, I'm also going to back Bayern Munich. I think it will be... I kind of think 3-1 sounds like it could be. I'm a bit worried, though. No, you know what? No. Let's just go for a draw. Let's cause some chaos. Let's switch it. All of you guys went for Bayern Munich. Villa Park is going to be the 12th man that they need. I'm going for it. Let's go 2-2. If Villa gets a draw out of this, that's a win for them, I think so. Let's see. Let's see what they can do. Bayern are very scary for sure. Shall we talk a little Real Madrid? Lille? Real Madrid in France. Lineups first, gentlemen. We have Lunin because Thibaut Courtois has picked up an injury in the match against Atletico. Ferland Mendy, Rudiger, Eder Militao, and Carvajal. Bellingham, Camavinga back in the lineup with Tchouaméni, Valverde. And up front, it's Vinny and not Rodrigo because Enrique is starting this match. Very interesting from Carlo Ancelotti. And for Lille, we have Chevalier in the back, Santos, Diakite. Wow, I really just stumbled there. Alexandro, Gudmundsson, Bakar, Sedrigov, nope, Andre, Buadi, Cabella, and Jonathan David. Pardon me for those mispronunciations, speaking a little too quickly here. Alex, I'll go to you first. A very interesting lineup from Ancelotti, putting a lot of faith in the young Brazilian. Obviously, he's had playing time, but he's not gotten the start. This is, I mean, it could be really important for him and building up that confidence. And what does this mean for Rodrigo?
Yeah, I mean, interested to see that Endrick's starting. I also feel like when you look at the level of opposition that Real Madrid are playing against, with all due respect to Lille, this is probably one of those games where Carlo Ancelotti feels like he can perhaps rest a Rodrigo, and he has enough faith in Endrick. It's not like he's putting out a player that's, you know, come through the youth system and hasn't perhaps proven himself at the top level. I know Endrick's still got a lot to prove, but he has shown he can score in these big games. So, you know, I think Endrick playing up front, I think it's been a long time coming. He was due a start in the last two La Liga games, Espanyol or Alaves. Didn't get the start, obviously came on against Atletico Madrid. I think it's a good move, and I'm excited to see those two work up front together. The pace, I think they'll do very well. And, you know, brilliant to see Camavinga back in that midfield. I think he's been a big miss for Real Madrid, and him alongside Tchouaméni. I think I read a stat the other day. Real Madrid are unbeaten, I want to say, in about 40 games when Tchouaméni is playing, and it's unbelievable how well he does defensively. So to have him, Bellingham and Valverde in that midfield, perhaps one of the best midfields, if not the best midfield in the world, alongside maybe perhaps Man City. But yeah, I think Real Madrid will have too much, and yeah, I'm sure Lunin will be happy to be getting a few games in the Champions League.
Well, they know they can trust him in the Champions League, so no harm, I don't think, with Lunin. Gary, what do you think about Endrick getting the start here? Do you expect maybe a goal from the youngster?
Long ranger. He's been trying them for a while, right? He's been trying them for a while. And I love his left foot. Like, you know, maybe because we've not seen so much of him in a Real Madrid shirt, but it's always, at this point, still a surprise when he unleashes a shot, and it's so, like, the power in his stout legs is how does he generate that power in his legs? Like, you know, it's still a surprise because he's coming, especially from the halfway line, you know, he's coming down diagonally, then he looks up once, and he shoots from that audaciously ridiculous angle. And the exciting thing for me as a football fan is that he's never far off. Like, he's just shot at goal. It's always on target, just a few meters or centimeters off or whatever. And I'm sure he's going to. And his link-up play is also suited to Europe, I think. I think that's why Don Carlo is putting him in, just for him to gain time. I mean, maybe the league football might be a bit might come too soon for him, which is why he's restricting him to 10-minute, 5-minute, 15-minute cameos. But in Europe, it's more expressive. with all with a great of respect, it's Lille, and it's Lille without Lenny Euro, right? Who is left, and so their defense is not as good as it was last season. And I'm sure Hendrik, if he gets the kind of support we expect him to get from his teammates, he's going to have a good game. Can't wait to see how that one pans out as well. But good for him. You know, at the start of the season, we asked on a couple of shows whether Hendrik was going to get game time, just like we're asking about Kylian Mbappe, and we're debating. But I mean, you know, Don Carlo, he's finding time for the young man. Most importantly, the young man is utilizing his chances. So happy for him.
Yeah, he's definitely not afraid to take chances, and that's really nice to see at that age, because that usually sometimes comes with a little bit of, you know, maturity and, you know, comfortableness on the pitch. But he's coming in and he's saying, I'm going to go for it. And like, Gary, you actually make a good point. He's not just going for it and it's getting blown into the stands. He's going for it and he's not far off. And he has scored a few screamers, right? So I think even though he hasn't played that much, I think he's already proving himself slowly at Madrid. I think more concerning is Arda Güler, who's not getting any playing time. And there's questions about that, but I also think we're early days. Let's see. There's, I'm sure, injuries still to come, unfortunately for everyone, so maybe that will be a time. But Klinton, you wanted to say something about Hendrik.
No, yeah, I was just going to say that the few times that he's been given the opportunity to mount that pitch, he's proven to everybody that he can be the guy, you know. If he's not, obviously, taking advantage of the ref, he's scoring goals. And yeah, I was waiting for that one to drop in your memory.
You have no clue. My God.
No, but the most important thing is, whatever you do, just make sure it leads to a goal. And Hendrik has been doing it, right? And I'm speaking about like 10 minutes into the game. Like, sorry?
No, I went too far. Sorry, I went too far.
No, I'm not. But for real, Hendrik has been one of the most effective players in Real Madrid, whether we like it or not. Like, look at how long he's been given. Like, he's almost like, okay, Hendrik, he's like that houseboy that you've had all the food and they give you some little leftover, and you literally would take that little leftover, you've taken it into the pot, and you've turned it to a whole full meal because you've added a few stuffs. Like in Nigeria, we would call it, some people would say, there's this word when you go make all this mismatch and just get something for yourself. He's taken advantage of that little time, and he's used it to make people feel like he's been in the whole game, right? By producing a goal or causing the ref to make a mistake that means Real Madrid will get another goal. Like, this is what we expect from him. And I'm so happy for the fact that he's now being given the opportunity to start the whole game, right? So now we would see if Hendrik is that player who would be very effective starting the game, or more effective starting the game, or he's more effective coming out from the bench. Today would be that day where we would find out that stuff. Arda Güler, you mentioned, is the one player who I feel like I expected so much from for Real Madrid. He's a very fantastic player. I'm sounding like Alex now. I mean, you could see that he passes the ball. I was trying to see if I could include the accent as well. But no, wait, I want to be looking at Gary's face when I'm picking them up as well. No, but Gary, wait, no, hang on. Let me, Alex would always look this way, right? No, I mean, he's...
Alex is like this. Alex is like this. Klinton, Alex is like this. Look, he's doing it. He's doing it. Look at Alex's hands. Like this.
You can tell he's a fantastic player, and he passes the ball. We look at the records. I was just checking.
You can't look them up.
No. You've looked them up before. No, you've looked them up before.
No, he does the thing on the screen where he's talking and then he does the glance and then the glance back up. He has the list. He has prepared the list.
Obviously he's done well at the Euros. Obviously, we are expecting so much from him.
Yeah.
And obviously, we are expecting so much from him. And at some point, Carlo Ancelotti will bring him on. But
he's not performed badly either. I mean, he's been quite good on the ball. He's had about 2 goals when you compare it to last season. Last season he had about 10 goals, 2 assists, which is quite fantastic. So
all right.
But I do wish Arda Güler, right, would live to his full potential. I saw him in the Euros and we saw how magical it was. We saw the goals he scored. Like, you could clearly tell that he has some glimpse of Olise in him. But with this Real Madrid, we are not really seeing it so far. And I'm hoping he does get into that point where he will be delivering with this Real Madrid team.
Score prediction. Klinton, you start.
I think this one is definitely an easy win. It's one of those games where I'm not going to downplay Real Madrid. I know Kylian Mbappe is not starting the game, and Kylian Mbappe could obviously still be very great to start this one because they are playing against a team based in France, which Mbappe pretty much has all the experiences in, right? So this one, I'm definitely giving it at least a 4-1 Real Madrid to win. I definitely see Vinicius scoring on this one.
His brother plays there.
Oh, his brother plays there.
Ethan.
Oh, Ethan plays in Lille.
Ethan.
Oh, right, okay. So in that case, I might just maybe drop it down to 3 because it was Mbappe's goal that made me say 4. But I don't think you want to.
But isn't Mbappe unavailable, guys?
No, he's on the bench.
He's on the bench.
He's on the bench. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Ashmore?
4-0 Real Madrid. Goals from Vinicius, Endrick, Bellingham, and Mbappe.
You'll be surprised that is going to be the game that Endrick would end up not scoring at all, or even taking a shot. Let's see. I mean, I love this kind of surprises. Let's see what happens.
Gary, prediction, please.
Real Madrid to win, and I would like Klinton to be wrong. I want Endrick to have a good game. I want Endrick to have a good game.
Wait.
No, but he said it's one of the games. You said one of the games where there might be a surprise. And I'm saying I don't want any surprises. I want him to score a screamer.
So you don't want him. So you don't want him to break.
Him.
So you don't want him to break Cole Palmer's record. You don't want that kind of surprise.
No, that would be not now, not now. I mean,
just imagine somebody's prayer, we.
Sorry, Gary, what was your score prediction?
3-1.
3. Okay, I'm going to back you on 3-1 as well. I think Vinicius will score. The other two, I'm not sure, but Real Madrid also bleed goals, and I'm still a bit worried about that back line. They have had, Las Palmas and Alaves score on them. We saw Stuttgart last week, or Leipzig. No, it was Stuttgart. They can be scored on. They'll win, but I don't know if they'll keep a clean sheet. That would be the only concern. Okay, let's move along. We have to wrap up shortly, so we have to pick one more game that we have to chat about. And shall we talk about Atletico Madrid and Benfica?
Yeah.
Do you want to?
I'm happy to.
Do you guys want free for all here? We have, Liverpool taking on Bologna as well, RB Leipzig and Juventus. Lots of games across the board, but what would you like to speak about, guys? Let's leave it on the table.
I think Benfica Atleti will be a fun game. Benfica just getting the win over Red Star Belgrade in week 1. Atleti obviously getting that late winner against Leipzig. You were there and seeing
and Real
that was
Madrid.
a good game. Yes, I think Leipzig Juve will be a really exciting game. I'm excited to see how well Liverpool do against Bologna. I think Arne Slot's started life off in Liverpool he started off really strongly. So I think Liverpool will be putting on a show today against Bologna.
I think Liverpool is going to absolutely sing this evening. I'm so sorry, Bologna, but I don't think they stand.
And they need a reaction as well. They need a reaction because Arne Slot said he's not happy. He wants consistency in this side every game. And he promised that they are going to react, following what happened at the weekend. So, yeah.
Yeah. I see that all day. I think Atleti is interesting because obviously, like you mentioned, a really heated match over the weekend against Real Madrid. Also, really quickly, I think we have to send our thoughts to Lenormand, who actually has a subdural hematoma, and he has severe brain injury, which is actually really scary to talk about because I think we still don't know in the world of sport a lot about the damage that, the brain can damages that can occur in the brain, when playing sport. Obviously, he had that header against Chouameni, but thoughts are with him because that's really scary to hear about. So anyways, Atleti will be without him, and that's a big miss for them, though, because he's come into that team and owned the defense completely.
Yeah, he's been one of the starters, and he's a brilliant defender. So, hopefully a speedy recovery for him.
Clinton? Any thoughts? Atletico and Benfica, Liverpool, Bologna, Juve, and
Liverpool, Bologna. I pretty much know what the scoreline would be. I think it's one of those games where there's no point watching it. Just put your bets. I know this is not a betting show, but that one is a no-brainer. Everybody knows it's probably going to be 3 goals. There's something about Liverpool. If they are beating you, they are beating the hell out of you. They are not even thinking about 2-1. Like they would beat you proper. And if they are making swaps, they are bringing in the next person who's going to even beat you even more than what the previous one did. So that one, yeah, 100% we are giving it to Liverpool. And I see Luis Diaz, as usual, he would probably find the back of the net. I trust him. Juve and Leipzig, that one is going to be quite tricky. Juve, we've seen them that, when it comes to Champions League game, they usually turn up. And that one is going to be very tricky, knowing that Leipzig, they went to Bayern Leverkusen that beat, their last game, Leipzig, who did they play? Was it Bayern Leverkusen?
No, Leverkusen played Bayern.
It was Atleti. Oh yeah, it was Atleti. That's the one. Yeah, and they lost the game, right? So they will want to prove a point. And obviously, I do hope they, especially with what happened in the last game with Real Madrid, I'm sure they will be wanting to find some kind of win to kind of like boost their confidence in their next couple of games, especially in the La Liga. So let's see what happens.
All right, well, 58% of you think Atleti is going to win that game. 93%, pardon me, think Liverpool. 53% of you think Juve is going to win. And quickly, a reminder here is that yesterday we asked you how many goals Victor Boniface was going to score against Milan, and 46.5% of you said 0.
Wow.
And I was one of them.
I think I was too.
Oh, no! All right, guys. Lots and lots of Champions League. So we'll go over all these matches tomorrow. Alex, let's quickly dive into the EFL because right after this, like I mentioned, top of the show, we have Bristol City taking on Sheffield Wednesday. And you did not have some very nice things to say about one Bristol City, Alex.
Never, no. I think, it's looking, all eyes point towards a Bristol City win. They're unbeaten at home. Sheffield Wednesday lost all 3 of their away games so far this season. They're just sitting outside the relegation zone. Bristol City started off a little bit wobbly towards the beginning of the season, but they've picked up some results. They're 2 games unbeaten now. I think a Bristol City win, but I can expect some goals because neither side's too strong defensively.
Alex, Klinton, pardon me. Your favorite team, Sheffield Wednesday, is playing right after our show.
Oh, Sheffield. Now, the crazy thing, right? It's literally their midfield that really gives me joy, and it's something I really want to see on this particular one. Who's going to win? I'm definitely...
Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday, they're going to win.
Wait, it's today Wednesday?
Sheffield Wednesday, I reckon they're going to win.
Yeah, no, they're definitely winning today then. If Sheffield Wednesday is playing on Wednesday, why not? Come on, what do you expect? There's no way they're not going to take this one. This one is even a no-brainer. Like if there's anyone that's going to put up any kind of codes or whatever, fam, listen, sometimes it's the universe that should be speaking to you. If Sheffield Wednesday is playing on a Wednesday, why would they want to lose on a Wednesday?
How very Ted Lasso of you.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, I love that. Gary, Sheffield Wednesday on a Wednesday?
I'll go for a draw.
Ooh.
Chaos and controversy. That's it. All right, guys, let's wrap her up there. In about 7 minutes' time, Sheffield Wednesday and Bristol City coming up on SportyTV. We will be back again tomorrow to discuss all of these matches and we know where we will stand after match day 2 in the league phase of the Champions League. So it'll be very interesting to see. Alex, Klinton, Gary, it's always been a pleasure, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Until then, enjoy the football.
Ebwe. Ka.